Hello, hello. Emily would just ask. I'm here with Kyle. Say
Hello.
hi.
Hello.
So by day, you are a financial advisor, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Before we dive into that, what's a little bit about who Kyle is?
Yeah, so born and raised in Buffalo, New York. Come from a single parent household. So I got three other siblings, and you can imagine how crazy that was growing up. But yeah, I went to Middle Early College High School, grade school, went to college while I was in high school too.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
so a lot of the city kids, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's nothing, I'm not like that crazy smart or anything like that. No, but it was nice. And then, so I went to Buff State and then ECC for a little bit.
Nice.
And then I was like, I want to get out of Buffalo. So I went into the Air Force after.
Okay. How was that?
It was amazing. Honestly, when you're in it, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, wow, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Right? But a couple years outside, I'm like looking back, I'm like, okay, like I really was doing my thing.
Yeah,
something to
yeah.
be proud of. So yeah.
And how long did you do that?
So I was in there from, I think, 3.5 years. 3.5 years, yeah.
Wow. And what was that experience like?
So it was hard at first, obviously, like leaving home, but I knew I had to step out my comfort zone at an early age to grow.
Good for you.
Yeah, and I didn't want to, I seen like a lot of my family and friends kind of feel stuck in Buffalo. So that was kind of like a thing for me to get out and,
It's a happy medium to do it in that way and not like exactly just go out completely with no help.
Exactly.
Where were you stationed?
New Mexico, so Kirtland Air Force Base, Albuquerque.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
I don't know if you've seen Breaking Bad. You ever seen that show?
I have heard of it. I can't say that I've like watched it fully.
Yeah, so if you watch it, it's like insane, and it's like 10 times worse in person. So yeah, it's bad.
Well, okay, so I'm a little daring myself, and I wanted to. I have this habit that like when a relationship ends, I treat myself to a breakup trip. So the second one, because it's normal, but it happens, you know. So I had went to Tulum, Mexico, but I flew into Cancun, and if anybody knows, you have like an hour and a half drive into Tulum. So I'm in my little taxi, and I just look over, and I'm like, oh, okay. Just pickup truck, two people in the back with like straight up rifles, and I'm like, I feel like I fully experienced Mexico. But like I didn't feel in danger. I was like, I guess I'm supposed to feel safe, but I kind of do. Right. So let's go.
Mexico's a beautiful country.
So yeah, that was interesting.
When was that?
2023.
Gotcha. So that wasn't that far away.
And that was like, it was definitely around the time where something was like freshly happening. And I'm like, we're just going to go for it because I'm staying in my Airbnb and everything will be fine.
That's right. Well, you're here right now, so that's good.
Exactly. And like you said, it's just like, at one point or another, I feel like stepping out of that comfort zone is just, it's a must, you know, because you have to like test yourself to be like, how do I react? How is this experience going to go? And it's just like, that's just living.
Were you by yourself?
Yes, I was going to meet friends.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I was pretty daring.
That's scary.
But it was a test. I was like, because I got a little scared because I rented a car. Then they tried to play me on the price. And I'm like, nah. Still got played because I ordered a taxi and they did one card, said it didn't work. Long story short, still got charged twice. But it's fine. Welcome to Mexico. But once I got that figured out, then I was like, okay, I figured that out.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's just this thing. You have to almost push your limits sometimes because it's just like, I might not always be traveling with a man or have a man to protect me. So it's like, you kind of got to know what to do when you don't have that option. So
it's funny you bring that up. I was having a conversation with my mom the other week. She kind of has been like in her shell. And I'm like, Mom, like, stop waiting on your friends to go do something. Like, life is too short.
It is. It really is. Good for her. And I mean, you know, she's probably a little older school with the things. I get it. But don't wait on nobody.
Exactly.
You know, do it safely. Plan ahead, but you gotta live your life.
Exactly.
You just have to. So you did the Air Force. What kind of led you to what you are doing now as a financial advisor?
Yeah, so I would say like my last year in the Air Force, I knew I was heading out. So I was thinking of things that, you know, what's next for me.
Yeah.
And I've always been passionate about money and like, you know, building wealth, but I never knew how.
Yeah.
So growing up with a single parent household, right? I mean, she made sure that we had all the basic necessities and we still, you know, had nice shoes and stuff like that. But she didn't teach us about, you know, financial literacy. So I took a course on Udemy about investing and just the financial foundations. And after that, I kind of just stopped. Like I was
Okay.
working a bunch of weird jobs in between then and now.
Yeah.
And then my financial advisor, I got introduced to him through a coworker at Northtown.
Okay.
And he was like, dude, like you have an amazing personality.
Yeah.
Like I think you'd be well at this. We can teach you, the skills on the backside.
Yeah.
But if you have the heart for it, let's do it. So I took that leap and I'm like, all right, let's go.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, and I think like good for you because like a lot of the people, it's very easy to stay stagnant or in your comfort zone when you kind of don't know what you want to do, especially like those sorts of things, whether it's like the Army, the Air Force, or those sorts of things. It's like now you have to readjust to everyday society. Right. So I can understand like that's like, okay, like now it's like kind of starting over.
Yep.
So, that's good that you would kind of were able to figure that out.
Yeah, I live. Not to cut you off, but I feel like I lived like 10 different lives. I always talk to my family and friends about it. I'm like, yo, like I've done military. I've done so many different jobs outside the military. So many different life experiences.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And like you said, that's exactly what it is. It's all life experiences. And a lot of the time people have different mindsets and versions of what life should be. I mean, and like you said, like at times people don't have till, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So at the same time, it's almost like, yeah, what are you doing in the next few years, the next couple years? So it's like really, I used to have so many different jobs as well. And I used to look at it like a bad thing until I was like, wait a minute, because now I have diversity and I can, you know what I mean? You're, like you said, you got a great personality. You can probably be comfortable in almost any room.
Mm-hmm.
Finances, they're intimidating. They're intimidating for me. I feel like a lot of the time our cultures, it's no fault of our parents because they weren't taught it. Mm-hmm. So how could they teach us kind of what they didn't know? So what I do admire about the 90s babies, and I have to speak for our generation.
I'm a little part of it.
Right?
2000 right there. Like,
oh, you're right there. Okay, we'll make an exception. But like, I think the biggest thing that I admire about like is something about that generation or just, around it. We've taken this initiative where it's just like, we want to break, whether it's generational like curses or these ceilings or these doubts or these things that we felt like we could never do because we weren't exposed to it. Like, I love that we're starting to break those barriers and kind of just dive into things, try them, fail and be okay with failing and then trying something else and getting back up. I think that's one of my favorite things that I'm starting to, see lately. Mm-hmm. But with finances, it could be an insecurity. I know I'm very confident and very comfortable in a lot of things. And finances was kind of like an insecurity for me a lot because I couldn't figure it out. I said, I could get jobs, I make this money, but it's just like, why is nothing like happening with it? So I talked to, one of my girlfriends who kind of enjoys doing that budgeting thing. She wants and needs to make a business out of it, and I may put her in contact with you because you'd be a good connection. Yeah, she's in Tennessee, but that's the beauty of these industries. You can do it from like out of state.
And I'm connected heavy in Tennessee.
So. Well, there you go. And, she was nice enough to kind of, I planned her daughter's birthday party in Tennessee. That's how that relates. Yeah. So she helped me out with some budgeting things. And like, she did a thorough job and just enough. Mm-hmm. But I can't tell you the effectiveness of it, where it's just like, I still have a ways to go, but where I am right now is probably better than I've been in the last 10 years trying to figure it out on my own. You know what I mean? So like, that's awesome. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's about the small and consistent steps, right? Mm-hmm. And money is tied to emotions, right? So when we're talking about money, I mean, if I'm going ahead and thinking about, hey, I got $300 and I want to buy it on some shoes because I feel like I deserve those shoes. I worked so hard this month, right? Versus if I bring something to you like, hey, like we have this investment that's going to grow for your kid. Right. It's $300.
Yeah.
That's a whole different, I mean, yeah, of course you love your kid and you care about him, but it's like $300, like, holy crap. So we got to tie what's important to, the person to their money. And then it'll make a little bit more sense for them.
I mean, and like I said, and give and take, like because us humans, we can't help ourselves.
That's
right. 200 and 100 for you. And you know what I mean? And I used to like 300 is like, oh, but I can't do much with that. And I used to look at it that way until you start to break it down and you're like, oh, okay, wait, 25 a week. Oh, okay, well that's now 50 a week. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's always been my challenge of, I look at like the big numbers and I'm like, oh my God, I'll never. And then I shut down and I'm like, let me just go get my nails done. And then we're just right back where we started. You know, so things like that. So, okay, investing for your child, which is a major thing and probably could have been, if it was done a little more in our generations, we might have been a little more ahead. You are a new father.
100%,
So what are we doing with that?
Yeah. So new father, no sleep, as you know.
Right?
Literally
That's
running
cost
up 2
number
hours.
one.
But yeah, so for him, I immediately knew I've been doing this for about 1.5 years now. I knew that I wanted to set him up for success for when he's even aware to know what a dollar is.
Yes.
So it's cool that I've kind of built this foundation for him, and hopefully, you know, he'll reap the benefits down the road. But I opened up a couple accounts for him.
Good. Oh my God, what is he's not even 6 months?
Yeah. He's 1 month. 1 month and a week. Yep.
And you look back and you're like, oh my God, even if it was $10 every week since I was like 10 years old. My God, I don't even want to think about it.
It's scary. Like you take a look at your bank statement and then all the little dumb purchases. Because I do it myself. Like don't just because like I'm a financial rep and
we all started somewhere.
Exactly. Like I'm still looking like dang. Like I spent a little bit too much on freaking.
I don't care who you are. If you worked at McDonald's, a retail store, or at an office. We have all been millionaires. We might have all been billionaires in our life already. That's what's crazy.
I love that you brought that up.
That's what's crazy.
My best friend Seth, we were just talking about that. Like and if we look at how much money we've touched since working till now, like we've made more than $1 million. So, and that's what I do. We break down people's like goals and we'll look at what job they have and say, hey, if you're making $40K this year and let's say everything stays the same, you're going to make well over $1 million up until retirement. Isn't that crazy? And people are like, what? It doesn't even make sense.
When you put it into perspective, it's both intriguing and both makes your stomach sick. Because you're like, where? What? I mean, for me, I've been a little bad lately. A lot of my money goes to food. Doesn't look like it. Somewhere else. You're welcome. Those are my investments, except I'm not getting anything back, except being fulfilled. But like, I'm and it's the hardest thing is that discipline and not falling off the wagon. And it's just like, it is a discipline.
That's right.
And I sit here and I'm like, I do so many things. So meticulous and I am so organized. Why does finances have to be my one block and weakness of like, next week. And then it's like,
it's honestly like people don't want to talk about it because like when you got to face that storm.
Reality.
Yeah, you face the reality. It kind of gut checks you like, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's what I love. Like, I love taking people off their, not really high horse, but taking them outside their crazy life to where they don't have time to sit down and think
denial.
about the different...
We can say it, the denial.
Yeah, and that's okay, right? It's my job to kind of bring you guys back down like, hey, you've been spending a lot, but it's okay. We want a good balance, right? We want you to enjoy your Tim Hortons coffee. But also, what are you doing so future 10 years, Emily, could be happy, right?
Yeah. So... And it's like I said, like, and my girlfriend, Victoria, that's one thing she helped me with, exactly what you just said, where it's just like, you get super high, like, okay, I'm paying stuff off. And then I'm like, okay, let me bring myself down a little bit, because we probably could have skipped a couple coffees and that could have been a credit card payment. But it's that consciousness, of, bringing you down just a little bit to be like, hey, stay focused, because guess what? Breaks come up. Maintenance come up, oil change points. So is that $70 there? That's $100 there. So now it's just like, oh, okay. What happened to my account this week? I don't. We'll just wait till next. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm in a better place, but then it's like, okay, whoa, don't go too far back.
Right.
Let's stay on track. So like I said, that mindfulness of controlling the emotions, because emotions and balance play into all of this.
Right.
Where it's just like, I got a few trips coming up and I'm like, okay, a firm is great, but slow it down just a little bit, man. We still got bills that need to be paid. So it's, it's all those factors. And, like I said, like we just previously said, the industry you have, it's a difficult industry to be in until you let people know that it's something they actually need. So you have such a small window of capturing somebody's attention and saying, hey, this is why you need it. And then if a person gives you the chance, to explain it to them, then they'd probably be like, okay, I kind of need you now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, is that a challenge for you? How does that play into like this as your day job?
Yeah. So, my heart is to help out people, regardless of, I don't know, kind of, and like I don't have like any motive behind wanting to help people. So I'll just say that. So with that being said, I got into this because I really wanted to help out my community and help us, achieve like wealth, just because there's such a big gap between our communities and, predominantly white folks.
Yeah.
That's okay, right? As far as like the white folks, that's okay. But I need to take care of my community too, so we can grow as well.
We deserve the education.
Exactly. So the reason why I'm bringing that up is because when I'm reaching out to friends and family, it's hard to get the sort of responses I get because they don't see the value in it yet. Right? Okay. And for me, I'm not going to give up on them, right? It's just we don't know. But I'm going to make sure I stay around. So for when you are ready, I'm going to be here to talk and I'm going to be here to help you out. So it's hard.
And I think that's major what you just said, where like a lot of the time, like even some people I reached out to when I mentioned financial advisor, I get it. A lot of people like the cold calls, the scams, hey, I'm here to help you. And the next thing you know, they withdrew everything from your account. I genuinely get it. So like that part of what you said, and I'm real big on energy. So you probably wouldn't be here right now if I didn't feel that genuine energy. That's just facts. I know what's worth my time and not. So with that being said, I think people have to learn for themselves to have just enough balance and education and control of the emotions to not necessarily say no too quick, even if you give that person 2 minutes. Because those 2 minutes can tell you if they're full of crap or not. It's just facts. Whereas that might be part of our culture's problems. You're not even willing to listen.
Right.
You're not even willing to listen and say, hey, give me 2 to 5 minutes of your time. This is what I do. This is what I can offer. Based on your, situation or circumstances, I can help you with this much. And if you want more, that's it. Did that kill you? No. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So things like that, I feel like are major because like we're so on the defense. We think everybody's like out to get us. I get it, but
there's good people out there, and there's a lot of good resources that's free out there to help you get out of your current situation.
And we can't keep complaining about our current situation when there's help out there, and we just have to be willing to prioritize and dedicate time in scheduling it for us.
That's right.
Because that's a version of self-care.
That's 100%.
Financial stress is a real thing. It has strained some of my previous relationships. Financial stress is a real thing. So it's not that, okay, you're going to have a 800 credit score in 2 weeks. Absolutely not. But like, if you can at least come up with a plan or reach out to somebody who can help you with a plan, that's minimal. And then even if it's you giving them the information, what they do with it is up to them. But like you said, what I like is you're still available. Even if you give them the information, it's 2 months, it's 3 months. But when they come back to you and say, hey, like I'm ready, that's nice that you're still there. And that's how you know it's genuinely not just a sale for you.
Right.
And I think that's important in differentiating who you're working with.
100%.
That level of comfort. So.
And also, like, for my community, I get it because I am you. Like, I literally come from nothing. I've been homeless. I've been through all the things that you've been through. And I want to be a light. This is what I pray for every morning. Like, let me be a vessel. Let me be a light to others around me. Absolutely. I want to be a light for them to say, hey, I can change my situation, right? I can, get out of whatever toxic environment I'm in and kind of grow. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's major. I think the world needs a lot of that, where, like I always say, I do. First of all, this is just the power of moving past the fear of just either talking, meeting new people, or reaching out. Because where did you find me? On LinkedIn?
LinkedIn, yeah.
LinkedIn through a mutual friend. You said, hey, how do you know so-and-so? I said, honestly, I don't know them personally. They requested me and I accepted it. Okay, let's just talk about, first of all, those random connections that I just decided to accept. Boom.
Let's go.
Another random connection, opened a business account at Empower Federal Credit Union.
Come
Boom.
on.
So this is what I'm saying. Like, I was like, I don't even know how to operate LinkedIn. I have done, and here we are. It's great. You know what I'm saying? So just those, like, what we think is so minimal, like that $300, you never know what it can turn into. And everything, although you're a financial advisor, everything isn't monetary either. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like advice. Hey, you have this going on. How can you turn it into this that eventually makes you money?
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think like that's the most unfortunate thing I see in my community or, you know, my people as well too. We're such a beautiful, passionate culture. So much energy, just the resilience, the motivation, I mean, the mindset, but we're so content. And that's not a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing because it keeps us humble, even though we are very prideful. But the downfall is it's a barrier and fear that doesn't allow us to do more. Or, well, no, that's too much. Well, no, we don't know if that's going to work. Or we don't this, or the lack of education. New Hispanic restaurant, thriving, great food, great service, 6 months, done. Because they didn't have the financial part. They didn't have the business aspect. You know, they did just no knowledge of it. You know, unfortunately, the language barrier. And there's no problem with that, but the importance of advising, you know, planning, set up that plan to be ready for all those things. And it really doesn't take that much time. And I try to say, like, preparation, organization, like planning, like those are real things. It's like very real things
You're literally
I'm
preaching.
sorry, I feel like I'm taking over the show.
You're fine. You're preaching. Do you want to be an advisor
Right?
too?
I know.
I'm serious.
Listen,
You would be
because I see you
great.
interviewing me as I'm speaking. No more jobs for me. No more jobs for me.
Let me bring up something I wanted to actually show to you. It's just a verse. It's a verse because you talked about planning. So give me 1 second.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So Proverbs 21:5, good planning and hard work lead to prosperity, but hasty shortcuts lead to poverty.
That part.
Right.
I'm sure you as I will live in testimony to that.
Right. 100%. And when I think about that, so when I'm reaching out to these people, in the back of my head, I'm like, do they have a good plan? Right. Because a lot of people that I'm talking to, they have a lot of great things going for them. That's, you know, retirement accounts or whatever else they have on a separate. They never actually had a plan to say, hey, these are my goals and here are the steps to get towards my goals. Right. So if you don't have a good plan, you're most likely going to fail. You can't. You're
a hamster in a wheel.
Exactly.
I've done it.
So yeah, honestly, planning is going to be the most important thing, not just for finances, but for everything else you want in life. Like I'm so passionate about having a plan, even if it's you wanting to go out for the week. For me personally, I gotta have a plan because.
No, but that's a real thing because I'm like, okay, dinner, okay, drinks, and I'm like, ew.
Right.
I didn't expect it to look like that at the end of the week. Okay, slow down, honey.
Exactly.
So yes.
I don't know, but that's for me, like personally. I know for a lot of other people, they can wing it and they can get by, but a lot more structure helps create a more peaceful and just a more focused environment for me to grow. So. And
you have a baby now.
Exactly.
So like now, there's no room for like me. You know, I may have a dog. She's like a child, but
right.
So she's fine.
Yeah, my dogs are getting jealous too. I'm like,
oh, you got dogs too? Okay, so you got like more than one baby.
I got 3 babies. You know, Rottweiler, I got an Australian Shepherd, and then
mine's a Pom Aussie.
Really? Yeah. Oh, we gotta get them together.
But she thinks she's Rottweiler size in her head, and when she walks, I'm like, how are you pulling me? And you're like 11 pounds. She would walk into your house and like try to dominate your Rottweiler, like Winnie. Relax.
As she should, you know. That's awesome.
Divas. I wonder where she gets it from.
Exactly.
So, obviously, like I said, I think financial advisor, you definitely have a good personality for it. You're probably one of the most authentic, genuine, not salesmen, if that makes sense.
I hate sales. Not to cut you off.
Yeah, and it's not.
I hate, like, it's so funny that I'm in sales right now. I hate it. Like, because for me, like, I'm so introverted. Like, personally, I could care less about, like, getting myself out there to go make $1. But it's important. Like, I have so much conviction behind what I do. I need to step outside of that selfishness of fear and put myself out there and show people what, you know.
They're missing.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah.
And I think that's the importance because, and that's how you know you're passionate about what you're doing and you're doing it genuinely and authentically. You're not so concerned about the money-driven part, but what drives you is genuinely helping people, once again, not knowing where they might need help. And I think that's one of the biggest things and can help you gain trust with that person. Or like, listen, I'm not here to, you know, worry about the profit that I get off of helping you. rather than helping you in your personal life, you know, your peace of mind, your finances, you know, family, whatever the case may be. And I think there's such a depth and importance, you know, in that. And I've spent probably the last solid 2 years, the method to my madness, I think, is starting to make sense to people. And I just made a post today where the less you explain, the more you can focus, the more energy you preserve on, you know, executing what you know your purpose is. And so many factors that you brought up today relates. And I like to repeat it each time so people can understand what I do and why I understand doing what I do on my podcast for other people. Because we are vessels. We are walking testimonies. And when you've been through what you've been through, you should be so grateful that you're fortunate and blessed even to come out of a situation like being homeless. So it's just like, how many people do you know around you, but how many people do you really know their story? And where they are now, you probably wouldn't believe that they're doing this good if you knew where they came from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just, with my businesses, it started out as, and it sounds funny, my last podcast, I really wanted to be a fashion designer growing up. Grew up super strict, Pentecostal, everything was the devil. Killed that dream real quick. Okay, never mind. So I'm just like a fashion designer for myself. That's, you know, that's that. Fast forward, worked on my jobs. Design consultant was my absolute favorite. I love customized. I love personalized. Turned it into small event planning. We started there. I think people underestimate the things they don't know they need. Planning, hosting, you know, coordinating takes a lot of time. Does make the difference when you have somebody doing it for you. Fast forward, I like design consultant. I turn it into my own design and organization. Both those industries can be applied almost to every aspect in life. Personal, business, trips, planning your weekends, like absolutely. Then the podcast was just the spinoff to everything. I ain't got thousands for marketing. I'm not taking out business loans because I used to have to prove my business can pay me consistently. So what sense would that make to get in more debt? So the podcast is a version of free marketing, not only for myself, like in others. But the most beautiful thing is I just started this in March. I don't have to do 2 special episodes in August because consistency. Consistency can be applied to finances. You know what I mean? So it's just like, that's how my brain works. So it's just like, but one thing I'm so proud of myself, I learned to stop explaining less. Where it's just like, you have that confidence in your product, your service. You know, you understand what it brings to the table. You're going to present it to people. What they do with it is up to them. And then if they have a willingness to hear you and accept the help, then that's what happens.
100%.
He has a financial call with my boss next week because we have already expanded. I'm only one person. I can only do so much. I'm still working on my finances. So
We'll talk later.
So I'm like, Kyle, I said, and communication. Don't leave people hanging. Ain't nobody too busy. Because if you could post a TikTok, you could follow up with somebody.
Facts.
Kyle, we're still getting the keys to the place. I ain't ready yet. We had a meeting this week. It ain't going to work out. My bad.
It's okay.
Let's reschedule. But you know what? I kept you in the loop. This is what's happening. Just mean what you say what you mean. You know, let people know what's going on because you don't want to, time is valuable.
Right.
Now, you waste my time, that's a problem because time is money.
Right, exactly.
I'll help you. There ain't got to be no time meter on it. I will help you as long as you're receiving it. But if you waste my time, you're going to get the other version of me.
100%, yeah. I wish I can voice that to, you know, these people I'm calling, but I got to kind of keep it, you know.
There's an art. I've learned that art.
I'm still learning it, so give me like maybe a couple more months.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're canceling your appointment 15 minutes before. We'll see you at your next one. You don't have anything? No. My apologies. Have a good day. Hope all is well.
That's the thing about like my career, my business. Like, you never know when to give up on somebody. Like, we can have meetings that you kept rescheduling, canceling. I call you, and I've learned that people are really poor communicators. Right now. So I just want to take a step out and say I appreciate the fact that you've been transparent since day one. You know, you've shown respect, right? And I love that so much about you and what brand you represent. Like, you are going to go far. So I'm kind of excited. I'm excited to see where you're going to be in a year from now because already for March.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about talking about your clients. I mean you.
You.
Thank you.
From March, right, all the way up until now, you've been booked. I've been seeing you on your Instagram and all the podcasts coming up.
Trying.
You should be proud of that.
I am.
You should be proud of that. And
I'm a one-woman show.
Exactly.
It's just me. I ain't got no staff, no team, nada.
Exactly. That's not easy. Trust me, I know, right? I know. So.
And who knows? When I make it big, I'm gonna be like, Kyle, I got some finances to finally work
Send
with.
Listen, let's talk.
Yeah, and I mean that's just all I be trying to tell people. Like, and there's such a fine line between. And I'm how long you been doing this?
A year and a half.
Oh my God. Okay, I would have thought longer. But like, you've been in enough industries, I'm sure, and in your lifetime to figure out like, you do got to be conscious of people who ain't in your best interest, you know, that you probably can't trust. I'm not saying, you know, turn a blind eye to that, but then there is the balance of, just help people out. And if they do you wrong once, then don't help them no more.
Exactly.
But like, you know, the gatekeeping or the super defensive, or you're just too busy. Ain't nobody too busy. If you want to do something, you want to be somewhere, you want to show up for somebody, you can make it happen. You can make it happen if you genuinely want to. And if you don't want to, just straight up tell me. I'd rather you do that than, well, let me get back to you.
Maybe.
You wasted my time. Now you're getting the other version of me.
Facts, yeah.
So it's just like, be intentional, transparent and honest, you know, be direct, you know, be clear communication. Like, I'd like to say it's not that difficult, but it can be that difficult for some people. And I think in your industry, you know, it does require that patience and understanding where single mom, she got 3-4 kids or something, you know, even if she's reaching out to say, oh my God, I'm so sorry to kid, but at least she's communicating.
Exactly.
That's all.
Exactly.
That's all. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure you've developed your flow of keeping everybody in mind. You know, I mean, like, you're literally, you had a baby, at the time you had a baby on the way, and you still were mindful enough to reach out to me and say, hey, were you able to communicate with those people that you told me about? You know what I mean? Like, those things make all the difference, as small as they are, but they are that, like, important. So anything knowledgeable or out of your experience for listeners, if they need to reach out to you for anything?
Yeah, so I just want to say, if you feel stuck about your situation, you're never stuck. Just reach out. Not even financial advising. There's a lot of people out there who care, like Emily, like myself, like a lot of other people in the Buffalo community. Just reach out and just have a conversation. As far as the financial planning side, every one of you guys who are watching needs a financial plan, and I'll say that with confidence. Doesn't cost anything, but I can send you my contact info if you guys want to check us out. KyleGray1.nm.com is my website, and you can find me on LinkedIn at Kyle Gray. And yeah, a good plan will help you out in life, and I have a good heart, so let's have a good conversation.
There you go. And you work for a company, right?
Yep. So I run my own business, but it's attached to Northwestern Mutual, Fortune 100 company. Yep. So I'm a broker for their company,
nice.
But I can go out and go broker for other companies depending on your situation. So you don't have to get any product or services from us. If it doesn't make sense, I can go out anywhere else.
Very nice. Yep. That's good. Yeah, because that's actually the most challenging part, is to be your own broker, right?
Yep.
Very nice. Yep. Okay. Well, good to know. Well, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for having me. It was awesome. Good conversation.
Yes. The collaboration versus competition, or even if between you and I, we're good at probably 100 of things, but we're not good at everything. You know what I mean? So just being okay with that, and it's just like an area that you lack, like you said, just reach out. It's okay to ask for help. If you don't know something, like, that's definitely okay. And I think that's one of the biggest things that really needs to get pushed in our communities.
Right.
And I want that for Buffalo. I want that for anywhere, anywhere in the world. Like, I think that's major. We need to start breaking those mindsets and barriers in order to really become successful.
100%. And it just starts with a conversation. I know you personally are connected to a lot of people that I know. So I'm going to say, I'm going to be reaching out to probably every one of you guys within this next 6 months. So Kyle Gray, financial representative, you'll hear me. So
yes. And I'm brainstorming like a podcast table talk thing. So keep it in mind.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes. Well, you heard it here on Just Ask Em. Please continue to tune in and subscribe. This is Kyle Gray. He is a broker and financial advisor. So if you require any assistance, whether it's reaching out to him directly or myself, this is your guy. So tune in and subscribe.
Have a good one.